So your opinion is yours. Your opinion is always right according to you. So it is okay if you are the only one that feels a certain way about something. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that it is your opinion. Okay? So the first thing that we're going to do, so a couple of other things, or just one other thing. There are cameras kind of everywhere. This isn't a hidden camera show, but we record because not everyone is able to be in sunny Miami in order to, observe what's here. That and the fact that if all of the people that wanted to hear from you guys were in this room, it would be hot and crowded. So in order to make sure that it's just us, we broadcast this and record it, not to post on social media or use it, in any way, shape, or form that identifies you as a person, but it's just for research purposes. Okay, everyone's good?
Mm-hmm.
Good, all right. I'm sorry? Of course.
So if you happen to use the restroom, I did use it before, but I know somebody else might have that question also.
If you need to go to the bathroom? So ideally you go before we start. I hope that everyone had a chance to go before we start. If you absolutely need to, please feel free. You just may miss a couple of things, but yeah. So the first thing that we're going to do, and you're not required, I'll tell you when to write, because not everything is going to be written. So for the first exercise, it's just so that I get to know a little bit more about each of you, and I can answer the question too if you want. But I have 4 things that I'd like to know. Your name, so that I know how to pronounce it. Your cell phone service provider. How long you've been with your cell phone service provider. Why you chose them. And your current cell phone. Okay? Name, cell phone service provider, how long they have been your provider, why you chose them, and just your current phone, just so I know.
That's 5. You said 4.
Sorry. You're going to be one of those? Okay, I get it.
And I got to use that.
She's pretty.
Oh, and I'll follow up.
Okay. All right, so we'll start over here.
My name is Kofi. With T-Mobile. Been with them for about 3 years now. I chose them because I'm fed up with AT&T. T-Mobile had some good promotions at the time, and they had some, the plan, one of the big benefits is they had international calling breaks that were pretty good, so I decided to go with them, and they gave me a phone, which is an iPhone 7 Plus, which I'm still holding on to.
Okay. Thank you. Kofi. Okay. Thank you.
My name is Eddie. I'm with Xfinity Mobile. I've been with them for about 4 months now. And I chose them because it was easy to transfer to from AT&T, simple fee structure, and I have iPhone 10.
Okay.
So I kept that.
Okay. Thank you.
My name is Michael. I'm with Straight Talk.
Mhm.
At least 6 years, maybe
Okay.
more.
Uh-huh.
Because they provide the same service as AT&T Verizon on the cellular on the data network, and for a third of the price.
Okay. Thank you.
My name's Erin. I have Verizon Wireless. I've had them probably for about 3 to 5 years now, and I'm on that because that was my boyfriend's plan. And currently I have the iPhone XR, and again, it's because he got the XS or whatever it was, so I got mine free.
Okay.
I'm Michaela. I'm with Straight Talk. I've been with them for about 8 years now.
Okay.
I got with them pretty much because they have like just one set rate, one set monthly rate. It's pretty affordable for me. I have the iPhone 6S Plus.
Okay.
My name is
Thank you.
My name is Yolanda. I'm with Walmart Family Mobile. I chose them because out of all the discounts that we get for the company that I work for, they gave the biggest. So
Okay.
yeah, my cell phone rate is very, very cheap. I think Straight Talk now is T-Mobile first, I think. So all in all, about 8 years. And I have an LG Stylo.
Okay.
iPhone is too much phone.
Okay. So for this first exercise or this first question, and you can flip to this second page, I'll ask that you don't look ahead. But for the next question, it's going to be question 1 on the shopping experience page. And for this, you're going to write your answer on the Post-its that we provided. The last time that you were in a physical retail location and needed the help of someone at the store or in the store. So the last time, when was the last time that you were actually physically at a store and you needed the help of someone that worked at that store?
Any type of store?
Any type of store, yes. I'll give everyone a couple of minutes to do that. And we'll start with, I'll give you a couple more, I'll give you like 30 more seconds. We'll start with Kofi and we'll go around to Yolanda.
I was in an Adidas store and needed a different shoe size.
Adidas store and you needed different shoe size?
Mhm.
Okay, and that was because it wasn't,
on the shelf.
okay. Eddie?
I was in a Vans store. That was about a week and a half ago. And
I'm sorry, a what store?
Vans, like shoe store.
Shoe store, okay, okay.
Yeah, Vans shoe store also needed a shoe size. That was about a week and a half ago.
Okay. Michael?
I have normal feet, I'm not sure what's going on. Last night I was at a Chipotle and it was awful. The food was delicious, the service was horrendous, but the last time I bought something electronic was at the Radio Shack out here. I didn't know there was a Radio Shack still.
Okay.
And I needed the plug that goes from your phone to your device. You need the adapter for the iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
And my questions were specifically about the quality of their products.
The quality of what?
The quality of their cables, like Monster versus Radio Shack brand versus some third party.
Okay.
That was the only question.
Mine was last week, Walmart. I just had to return a dog cage because it was the wrong size.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Okay. Michaela, right?
Mine was yesterday at Walmart. I had to exchange peppers for different size.
Okay. Yolanda?
Yesterday at Macy's,
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for a specific style of clothing.
Okay, so you asked about what like where the clothing was, or?
Yeah, like it was basically what brands had shirt dresses and things of that nature. So if the associate can give me the brands that had those things, she looked on the computer. So
Okay. So for the next question, and again, it's around shopping. And ideally, I mean, let's think about something that is either electronics or something where you would have questions about a specific product. I'd like to know the types of questions that you had about the product that you were shopping for. So this is different than the first one in just what type of assistance you were looking for, and some of you had returned, some of you had needed, like a specific shoe size. So you're asking someone to do something for you. This is more around questions about a specific product. And Michael, you had a good example as far as you had questions about one product versus another. So for this next question, think about a time where you're shopping in a physical store and you were looking for something or you wanted to buy something, and the types of questions that you had about the product that you were shopping for. And I'd like to know not only the questions, but what were you actually shopping for? All right, so this time we're going to start with, we started with you last time. We'll start with Yolanda, and we'll work around to Kofi.
Okay, so I use Brand Smart,
Mhm.
and it was concerning AirPods.
Mhm.
I don't have an iPhone, so I don't think it's necessary to buy the Apple ones.
Mhm.
So basically it was quality, but most economical.
Mhm.
And which ones that everyone is buying, but they're returning the most, because if they're returning it, that specific one they're returning the most, I'm not going to buy it because something's wrong with it.
Okay, so your questions were around the type of like, or something comparable to AirPods?
Yeah, no,
or?
like, they have knockoff ones or
Right.
whatever, but basically the most economical, but not so high. I don't want to pay iPhone, that price for,
Yeah,
for
Like
you know,
almost
AirPods.
$300.
So mostly because I'm in retail, I know that, and I know about claims, people returning stuff.
Mhm.
So most of the time, I don't buy what most people return because there's something wrong with it.
Okay.
The quality of
Right.
the sound,
Mhm.
I know with AirPods, some of them you can buy, you need AirPods, you sound like a robot, or the person you're talking to sound like a robot or something like that. So that was my question. Which ones they returning like every other day they're buying, even though they're cheap?
Okay.
So that was my question.
So you were looking for a recommendation from the store associate on that? Okay, thank you. Michaela? And if you could, sorry, just so that I can see if you can kind of angle them. Perfect, thank you. We should have.
Good idea, write it down.
Denise Miguel.
I was shopping for a kid's tablet,
Mhm.
and then I wanted to know what was the best brand and which one was the most durable.
Okay, best brand and most durable, and by durable, you
As
mean-
in, which one will last longer? It's my child, she has a little bit of anger issues, and she likes to throw stuff. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Erin?
Mine was earlier in the month. It was at Walmart, Target, and actually Amazon. Ironically, it was for AirPods. I was looking for my boyfriend whether to get him the first, second generation or the Pro. 140 versus 250. I thought 250 was outrageous, but I did ask the price, what the differences were, where it's like noise canceling versus not, and like the general overall quality of it. And then also like depending if the Target Red Card or the Walmart credit card, that discount is actually better than the sale that Amazon had going on.
Okay.
It's hard to beat Amazon sales.
Amazon won, that's right.
Okay, Michael.
Going back to my cable comment, I always seem to, from plugging and unplugging, seem to break the cable. So my questions were basically, does this need to be a knitted cord, or is it okay to have the plastic? Do you have something with a rotating head or something with a metal head that would extend the life of the product? And then since you don't have a list of reviews on a lot of the products that they're selling, you basically have to defer to the attendant to ask them, or the associates to say, are people returning these? Are these quality? Are these the ones that are broken in the back that you keep pulling one off the shelf to fix? Those are my questions.
Okay. Eddie.
Yes. So I don't buy a lot in person. I do most of my research online. So the last time I really had questions, I was at Best Buy about a month ago, and it was for a screen replacement for my iPhone. So my questions were, like, what was the process of the replacement, the type of products they were using, if they were like authentic or generic third party, and then also like services that they provided, like Apple Care or insurance through Geek Squad and stuff like that. So that was pretty much it.
Okay, thank you. Kofi.
I was in a Brand Smart. Also, I was looking for television and wanted to see if they had the best price. I had done some research on the TVs I was interested in. I wanted to see if they had the best price, if there was a price guarantee, and then I had some questions about the features of that television, as well as some comparable ones they had there in the store.
Okay. So for this next one, we are actually going to look at, so there's a big TED card in the center of the table, and it's also here. So this display is what you would typically see, or I don't want to say typically see, but this would be in a Walmart store. So when you go to Walmart, most Walmart stores, it's all the way in the back where they have all the cell phones. This is like
Not all.
Not all.
Some have their own cell phone. too.
Correct, yeah. So some have this that has for Straight Talk the devices. It has dummy phones set up with prices, service plans, and this sign at the top. And what I'd like for everyone to write down is if you are in the Walmart store, you see this display, and specifically you see this kind of banner at the top, what I'd like for you guys to tell me is when I see this sign, the first thing that comes to mind is,
Scan the QR code.
well, you're going to, and then we'll go around the room. And we'll start with Aaron, and we'll work our way around to Michael.
I put convenience.
Convenience?
Yeah.
Okay, and why?
Just because then you don't have to wait in line if the associates are busy and everything. You kind of just scan it. I guess also in a way it's ironic if you don't have a phone. You know. And,
What do you mean by that?
because you have to scan the QR code or text someone for assistance. So it's kind of ironic if you're going in there looking for a phone, don't have one, and it's like, oh, you need help? Chat with us, text us, you know.
Mhm.
But I guess then it's the live associates at that point. But for me, it's convenience.
Okay. Michaela?
Mine would be how to scan the QR code. I don't really,
How
Not
to
really.
scan the QR
Yeah.
code?
not really big on that whole scanning. I
Okay.
don't know how to do that.
Yolanda?
Well, I know about QR codes, so.
You said you do know about QR.
Yeah, they
Okay.
give you a lot of information.
Uh-huh.
QR codes. It just depends on what the concept of the product is.
Mhm.
QR codes give you free stuff, free samples.
Mhm.
So, I mean, knowing that, that's just what I do now.
Okay.
It's basically informative. I feel like you find information. That's the reason for it.
Okay. Kofi?
I said it was a novel idea, but I kind of want to talk to a real person. If I'm in the store,
Mhm.
and I can do that at home.
Mhm.
And I see all the choices are there in front of you, but I kind of want to talk to a real person. But to your point, I can see the convenience of not having to wait, for someone to get free or to get their attention or whatnot. But
It's like one person to every 6 people,
yeah,
wherever you go.
true. But still, I guess I'll go back to being able to talk to somebody.
Okay. Eddie?
Yeah, I mean, my first impression, the first thing that caught my eye was just the QR code immediately. So I was like, what does that do? But then kind of looking at the picture, like the FaceTime type scenario they have going on there would be a little awkward for me personally. So like, yeah, that's just immediate impressions that I got.
Okay. Michael?
First impression is it looks extremely busy, and I'm glad I don't need phone service.
Okay. And I was just going to ask you to explain what you meant by that.
What I meant by it looks busy, I'm glad I don't need phone
Yes.
service. In other words, I see everything looks almost exactly the same, and I think from here the prices are very similar, but it's just so many options. It's like almost like a greeting card display. And
focusing on that specific.
Focusing, yes, again, sorry, on this specific, it's also the tick card that you have in the middle, but with this specific banner, what is the purpose? What are they trying to communicate? All right, we're going to start with Yolanda, and we'll work around to Kofi.
I believe it's customer service alternatives,
Okay.
you know, giving you some options.
Customer service alternatives? Okay.
I would say to get help from to get like immediate help from a straight talk representative.
Mhm.
Because, you know, I wouldn't say like Walmart or whatever store you're at. Well, I guess Walmart. I think they're the only ones that would go straight talk.
Correct.
I guess, you know, maybe a Walmart rep wouldn't have all the information that straight talk does.
Okay.
I got the impression that like having it face to face, that there's nothing to hide. They have answered all your questions. So I think the purpose is that they're always available, what you see is what you get, and they're not, you know, straightforward, straight talk.
Okay. Michael?
Just the square.
Correct.
The banner has no relevant information besides the QR code and an offer to answer questions.
Okay. Eddie?
Yeah, I got the purpose is like immediate assistance available.
Mhm.
And the message is that it's like convenient, on the go, like basically like at your convenience, if not it's on your phone.
Okay. And Kofi?
Said similar convenience and hopefully having immediacy in speaking with the representative.
Okay. So for this next part, we're going to also write this on the QR code, and I'm sorry, we're going to write this on Post-its. And this is, well, so this is just going to be a show of hands. How many people know how to scan this? Yeah. Okay. Thinking specifically around this service, and again, painting the picture, I'm in a Walmart store. I'm a shopper. I am shopping for cell phone service. I'm looking at phones. I'm looking at plans. I have questions, and I am going to ask you to write your answers on your Post-its. For you personally, if you were shopping in this section and had questions, would you use this type of service? Yes or no? And then why or why not?
You're talking about the QR service.
I'm talking about this specifically. So if you're here and you're shopping and you had questions, would you use this type of service? Yes, no, and then why or why not? You have about 30 more seconds. All right, so we're going to start with Kofi and work around to Yolanda.
said yes, I'd use it specifically if there weren't a rep readily available.
Okay.
I said no. Initially, I'd rather like be directed to a website or somewhere where I can read it myself,
Mhm.
kind of get my own impression. Unless like I'd already done that and it was the last option available, then I would ask around for it.
Okay. Michael?
I would use the QR code second. The first thing I would do would be look up the name of the company and do an online review and see what the public opinion was. And if it was favorable, I would go then into the QR for details on the product.
Okay.
I wrote yeah, just to see if there's any like fees that I didn't understand. I see like the different packages for the ultimate unlimited or unlimited up to this or this.
Uh-huh.
And then I probably asked about like the popularity of the phones and which one you get the most bang for your buck.
Okay.
I said no, because I'd probably just rather talk to someone in person.
Okay.
I say yes, basically on a need-to-know basis, because most of the time I buy phones, I usually know what phone I'm going to get. Like I said, it will be on a need-to-know basis unless I saw something that I didn't know that they had, or, you know, a particular phone or something like that. Then I might say, okay, well, I'm a little tech savvy, but I can read for the understanding of when it comes to phones and stuff like that. So I say yes on a need-to-know basis. Like normally if I go in, I know what phone I'm going to buy. So if I saw something different, I didn't know that they had that. Then, you know, and I had some questions on it, and I was ready to purchase.
Okay. All right, so for this next part, we're going to give everyone a handset. And instructions, so take one, pass it down.
Well, this is better than mine.
What it's called.
Oh, wow.
You can hang up. No, that's not part of the test.
I want to find out now. I'm on speaker.
All right, so what I would like everyone to do is to follow the instructions, just the first instruction that you see either on the tent card or on this banner to initiate the whole, hey, I have questions, let me see what I can do.
You gotta know how to use it.
Nah, I was going to say Android's
So
different,
if you
right?
need help, let me know.
Because I know with the iPhone, we just use our camera and do it, but
Yeah, that's a question that I had. How would you like scan the QR code? Do you just like use
I
the
know
regular?
some people with the Android, they have to actually download a QR, like a barcode scanner reading app, unless they already have it. With the iPhone, you can literally just open up your camera and go as if you take a picture and then actually scans it with the camera and then redirects you.
Okay.
All right. Try that.
Okay, so now what we are going to do, I'm just going to kind of go around and see what everyone's doing.
I want to scan the QR.
So some of you want to scan the QR code, which is fine if you know how to do it. If you don't, I want to know that you don't.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
On
So-
an Android, I don't know. Is
Just
it
on the
taking
Android,
pictures?
And, well, hang on one second.
I don't know how to use it.
So for the individuals, because I see most everyone's an iPhone user, so just to make it simple, we're just going to follow these instructions.
Okay.
Okay?
That's a 611, right?
Mhm.
Correct.
Michael texted live to the 61611 and nothing happened.
Yeah, same for me.
Aaron, the same. Michaela, the same.
That's like finding that your, what do you call it, don't Kickstart account's closed or something. No.
Okay.
Which option did you go?
I was going to try to scan it, but I can't figure it out, so I'm going to text now.
You can try the
So,
camera.
so everyone,
Yeah.
and we can see that we text live to 611. We're waiting. The one thing that I want everyone to keep in mind as we do this, we're in Walmart, we're in the electronics section, we are by this phone display, and we are doing all of this on your device, right? And right now, we're in Walmart, and we text live to 611-611, and right now you are waiting.
Yeah.
So what would you do at this point?
I'm downloading the QR code scanner now and throwing that out.
Yeah.
Okay,
So who tried to text live to 611-611?
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened?
give me 1 second.
And then so I scanned it, and then this thing saying your connection isn't private without a, I don't know if that's an advertisement or anything.
What was the error message that it gave you?
Jeff
So you
Bezos
got-
just drained your bank account.
Not my bank account, on my phone.
So the error you got, so you said you downloaded a QR
Yeah, I
code
just
app?
downloaded the first one that was available.
Oh, the first QR code app? You're scanning.
I think that's just a
Your
advertisement.
connection isn't private without a VPN. That might look like an advertisement. I'm not sure how to exit
Yeah,
it.
that's what I did.
So then you exit it from little pop-up and nothing happened.
Yeah, I'm assuming we would do that because it would
But
lead
it's now it's
to
telling me
So
that.
there's a few icons here. There's a, you said you're gonna click
Yeah, I
the
would
web
click
one.
that and then click
So it says open with Chrome or internet.
Oh, okay.
Default app selected to change your default app. So what would you do next?
I didn't get
Okay,
it.
I'm assuming it's just because this phone's not all set up, but like if this was my actual Android, I'm sure it would
Yeah, yeah.
go to
It's
it.
gonna link.
But
Okay. So then once
it
you,
looks like it's loading though.
I still didn't get it.
so you scan the code.
Yeah, I was
All right,
You
so
had a few
everyone, if
pop-ups.
you did not get a message,
Yeah, wait,
Yeah,
well, I
have
just
a
got
switch, that's
one.
the
Okay, yeah, I got it.
so everyone
At this
should,
point, I'll probably walk away.
At this point, you'd walk away.
okay, so
Interesting.
let's, so if you received a message, great. If you didn't receive a message, let's type it again. And
Took like
let's see if
3
it works
minutes
this
for
time.
it to come in.
I think it finally popped up.
So what Erin did make out, she downloaded a QR code app and she had to go accept a few pop-ups that came
Yeah.
along the way. And then she arrived at a loading page. So what do you see now?
Basically, I can see it in the background where it's like real-time assistance, need assistance, but then because the phone's not really set up, it says the browser you're using doesn't support auto-visual communication, so then I have to install that now too.
So you have to install. So then when you hit install, what happened after that?
It prompted me to download Google Chrome Fast and Secure app, so I guess with that, then I'm able to be updated
So-
enough to use the feature.
So I just want to get everybody to the same point. So after you get the text message, let's go back to the text message. So everybody get back to the text message before the link. And for this, we're not going to write it down. I just want to kind of go round robin. You have the message in front of you. Everyone read the message, right? Yes? Okay. Based on the message, and of course you have a URL, and again, keep in mind that this would be on your own personal device. I'd like to know, what do you expect to happen once you click on the link? And we'll start with Michael and we'll work around to Aaron.
Now that I've got that link, I expect to be directed towards some type of marketing pitch that would clarify the product and give me some options probably down the road or in-app in order to make a purchase.
Okay. Eddie?
Yeah, I just expect to follow the link and it would connect me with like a service representative. But I was a little weary when it said like to allow geolocation access and microphone access all on a personal device would be a little bit more hesitant.
Okay. Kofi?
What he said. Basically the same thing. I mean, the whole, I expect to be hooked up with a representative right away, and then the geolocation, I understand why they might want it because, you know, specific locations might have certain devices or whatever. But I just, again, I'm giving someone access to where I'm at and what I'm doing.
Okay, and is that something, and well, Eddie, you brought it up as well, I'd like to ask everyone this, on your own personal device, and, just, again, painting the picture, you're in Walmart, your phone, you're in the Straight Talk section, hey, I have some questions, I'm typing or scanning this code in order to, get my questions answered by this virtual support, I click on a link, it asks for your location, and it asks for, what else did you say, the camera? Or
Camera and microphone.
Okay, camera and microphone. Would you proceed? Aaron?
Yeah, I
You
would.
go?
I have no problem.
Okay. Michaela?
Most, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, Kofi,
Most
you said,
everything I've asked.
I probably would proceed, but, again, I just feel like I'm getting, this whole thing is like Minority Report territory. Where I'm going to walk into a Walmart in the future, and I'm going to be, people are going to walk up to me or somebody, hey, just buy this,
Mhm.
So.
Okay. So, Yolanda,
Yes.
as far as what you expect to happen once you click on the link?
Well, for the phone to access camera,
Mhm.
location, and a lot of apps to it. I mean, it's pretty much the standard of a lot of stuff. I mean, I use my phone for a lot of stuff. I online shop. I also coupon on my phone. I also, earn money from my phone, gift cards, so things like that. And mostly all that stuff, it wants access to your phone. When I use my coupons from my phone, they want to know what store I'm at. So, I mean, if you have a certain paranoia, I understand it.
Mhm.
But it's the norm for a lot of stuff, for a lot of apps.
Mhm.
It's the norm.
Okay. Michaela?
What was the question?
No, it's fine. What do you expect to happen once you click on the link?
I would expect for it to start like the video call
Mhm.
with the representative.
Okay. Aaron?
I would hope that it would start the video call instantly. I know when I was playing around with the QR code, even though it wasn't like doing it in the background, it kind of looked like you had to fill out certain fields, like as if you were trying to connect to like a Wi-Fi thing, so maybe email and all that. At that point, that's another step. And then I could see if someone's doing this and they don't have unlimited data, that's a lot of commitment to waste on FaceTiming and doing all that just to get questions.
Okay. And that brings up a good point. So now what I'd like everyone to do is click on the link, and Denise and I are going to kind of help, because ideally you're going to connect to someone so that way you can actually chat. So here, I'm going to help you out here.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
So should I allow the camera and microphone?
So,
First, you weren't available.
well, you said that you normally would, so.
So it
Yeah.
opened in another.
So is there a reason why I guess like
Got it
browser
first
works
time.
better than Chrome?
And it's the same. Okay.
That is a very good question,
I got to give up some information.
and
Eh,
even for you, it's
Oh,
still.
no, it says.
Yeah, that's what had popped up
options.
before when I scanned the QR code.
So I,
Redo it.
Miguel, do you want them to connect yet or no?
yeah.
Yes? Okay, try.
So if you have the opportunity to connect, let's connect.
So you type in your name and the phone number?
I might have to retext them again.
Yeah, so let's go back to the message and see.
I got the QR code not supported.
Yeah.
Face-to-face, my name is Carolina. May I have your name, please?
Somebody got it.
Hi, Carolina. My name is Kofi.
Hi, Mr. Coffee. How are you doing today?
Said Kofi. Said coffee.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yes.
Okay.
No problem. How you doing?
I'm doing very great.
Michael, how you doing?
For the record, I would not give my microphone and camera because I've got
Monitoring and training purposes.
Okay.
How can I assist you today?
programs or
That's fine.
I'm looking into,
So you gotta
possibly switching over to Straight Talk. I just want to get some more
Hello,
information.
how are you?
I would do normally.
Specifically, like the unlimited.
Hold on, I can't
Ultimate
hear you.
unlimited plan.
Okay, let me give you
What do you want to do? Okay, I can hear you now.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you? Okay. I was just wondering about some of your, I guess, like, plans and stuff for individuals.
Sorry, it's kind of hard to hear you.
Oh, that's okay. Just like your general plans for an individual. Like, what's the best?
Everyone, about 30 more seconds. All right, so we'll start with Aaron and work our way around to Michael.
I loved it. I thought it was easy. It was fast. I did like that even though there was the option of putting your name and phone number, you don't have to. So, yeah, overall, I thought it was really interesting.
Okay.
I mean, he was friendly. You can tell he was there willing to help. And, like, how fast it connected once it did connect, that was the part.
Okay, Michaela.
I feel like it's great in a way. I mean, like, for example, it's a lot of people in here, so it's kind of hard to hear. So I
Right.
imagine it would be the same as if you were in a big Walmart. It's busy.
Okay. And would that impact you wanting to use the service at all?
Probably.
Okay.
Just can't really hear.
Okay. Yolanda?
I thought it was cool, definitely face to face. I don't think that it's, even though, I mean, that's right there and it's in a Walmart, I don't think you have to do it in a Walmart atmosphere. I think if you went home and you had questions, a lot of times people go and inquire about products and stuff. They're probably grocery shopping. So I'm pretty sure that you can go live or whatever they call it at home. You have your questions, you have your quiet. So, I mean, if you want to do it at Walmart, that's fine. But if you don't, you want to wait till you get home or inside your car, that's fine too. So I mean, face to face, I wish Comcast would do things like that because I tell you.
Is the service 24/7 or only during business hours?
That's a good question. Does it say anything about when they are available or?
No.
It just say need assistance, connect with representative, use a live video chat.
Okay.
It doesn't have any.
So I know what you know, Aaron.
Oh, all right, well, there you go.
Kofi.
I said something similar that is almost the same as sitting at home or elsewhere and chatting with a rep. You just have tangible products in front of you,
Mhm.
and you can take it home if you wanted to, or pick it up and look at it. That's the only difference.
Okay. And
Yeah, I thought it was really cool, actually. Surprisingly quick, like on how fast you got connected with someone. And comparing it to other customer service experiences, you usually go through like a hold, a couple automated prompts. Like this was instant. And it also feels a little bit more like legitimate when you see someone in uniform that you're talking with versus just a voice on the phone. So that was
okay. Michael.
Yeah, it was a wonderful service, way too intrusive for a product inquiry for me. It was nice to have the FaceTime, but it wasn't required. Pay for gas and I pay for electric without seeing the person. But of course, it's actually better than what they're representing on that poster. When I saw the person from waist up, I get their body language, they were very responsive, everything was great, but not for a product inquiry, not for me.
Okay. And when you say better than the poster, what do you mean?
The poster shows a tight, I guess they call that a headshot, like a half headshot. And then this one, when you actually see the person, it's a full three-quarter, like they're sitting in their chair. You could see her whole body sitting there. So it's almost like if she's slouching, anything like that, if she's leaning off the chair, you didn't see any of that. And that kind of gives you like, wow, this person's really trying to pay attention to me. It was very nice.
Okay, good. So for the next question, thinking about the service and again, imagining how you would personally utilize a service like this. This question is on a scale from 1 to 5, with 1 being very unlikely and 5 being very likely. How likely would you, and we're talking about you personally, how likely would you personally be to use a service like this? And why, or, well, basically just explaining your answer. So on a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being very unlikely and 5 being very likely, how likely would you be to use a service like this? And now that you've used the service, you've installed the app, you've clicked on the link, you've done the permissions, kind of keeping all of that in mind as you do this, including speaking with the live agent, 1 to 5, with 1 being very unlikely and 5 being very likely. All right, so we'll start with Kofi and we'll work our way around to Yolanda.
I'd probably be toward the end of my decision-making process to be in the store looking at this. So I probably had done a lot of research online and
So, what was your number?
4.
4, okay.
Yeah. So if I'm in the store and depending on my interest and how serious I am at this point about getting the service, I would use it.
Okay.
my number was 1. I typically try to find like how to do it on my own, whether that's online or just without having to, make a customer service call or anything like that. I try to avoid that if possible. So personally, I would rather just, do it myself.
Okay. Michael?
I'm a 1.
A 1? Okay. And why?
That would be great if, for like a doctor's, physician's meeting, I get to see my doctor, they get to look at me. But I'm buying a product that no associate is going to help me get better service. I'm paying for the price. So I'm getting a standard rate of service, and this is the price I'm willing to pay. To me, that's what That's what a cell phone service is, and when it's no longer providing good service, I'm off to the next company. And a sales associate, they're going to give me a booklet full of conversation, but really, when I turn on the phone and I get a signal, that's the only sales point for me.
Okay.
I wrote 5 because I like knowing that I can ask them any questions. If I have follow-up questions I didn't think to ask, I can reach back at them. And I've never been on an individual plan, so if that's something that I wanted to go to, they seem fairly cheap, and I don't know, the connection and stuff was good, so I was happy with it.
Okay. Okay.
I said 4, because you're actually being able to speak to a straight talk representative, and they'll be able to answer questions that a Walmart representative wouldn't have answers to.
Okay. And Yolanda?
I said 5 after using it, after using service. Feel it would be functional and effective. So, as long as it's something I can use and that it works, is effective for me, I think that's good.
Okay. For the next question. And this is around recommendations for improvement. What would you do, if anything, to improve the service and make it more appealing?
Okay, we still on this.
Correct, yes, yeah. So we're not talking about cell phone service, we're talking about the service of being able to text 611, click on a link, go through, prompts, questions, whatever, and eventually speak to a live agent. So when I'm asking for opportunities that you may have to improve the service, it's that whole experience. So I'm in a Walmart store, I'm texting, I'm following prompts, I'm granting permissions and all of that in order to get to a person, thinking about the experience in its entirety. What would you do, if anything, to improve that experience? All right, so we'll start with Aaron and we'll work our way around to Michael.
I'm not sure if I had it or not, but I put having the option to not have video, just so in case you are in a store where it's loud, you have the option of turning off speaker, just kind of talking to them, just because the connection, like you said, there was no prompts or anything, like you just got directed. And then as far as the actual poster itself, if they do have hours of operation, then that listed as well, because I know some Walmarts are even 24/7 too. So.
Okay.
Even though I put scanning the information on how to scan the QR code, even though they give you the option to do either or to text, I probably would, because probably other people out there like myself that don't know anything about scanning a QR code. I probably just have information on how to scan it.
Okay. Yolanda?
I put the same directions or information for QR because now that I've done the text, I thought it was pretty standard. It wasn't nothing difficult about that.
Yeah.
So that's it. How to use QR.
But they both do the same thing, right? They lead you to the same thing, right?
Yes. Yeah, the process may be a little bit different, but yeah, the destination is the same. Yeah. Okay. Kobe?
I didn't see too much to change. It seems like a pretty straightforward, streamlined process. And I did like the fact that it asked me if I had the option whether or not I could choose geolocation services or not. So that was cool. The only thing I could think of is if they were running some type of promotion that says, hey, use this, and we'll give you some type of kickback if you deal with one of our service representatives instead of hanging out in the store waiting to talk to someone.
Okay. Just to confirm the question, it's changing the sign or changing the service, like in general?
Anything, and I did have a question specifically about the sign, but if you have feedback about that, then yeah.
Okay, then I agree with her on, I would like the option to not have my camera on. And then sometimes like with Skype, like you can turn your camera off so you can just talk to them and you can still see them. So it still gives you the benefits there. And I'd also maybe like sometimes like you don't necessarily need to talk to someone. So maybe it could give you a link to like an FAQ link or like a message chat or something. Just like alternatives, not just directly to FaceTime.
Yeah.
Okay. And Michael.
Yeah, I would say that if it could utilize current phone video services, anything built in, that would be better than authorizing an entire new program to be on your phone. Option the zip code as opposed to the location. I didn't realize that that option was even available, just accepting everything. And then I would say providing some evidence of performance. So like the old school way was to put up a picture of the national map and then they would show hot zones near big cities and say, no, if you're in this bleed out zone of a suburb or something, you're still going to get service. So something along those lines so that I can just do a quick search, like this is my zip code, how's your coverage here? We don't have mountains, so really there's not so many hidden pockets in Miami.
Okay. For this next question, and kind of keep in mind what you did and the entire experience and ultimately being able to chat with an agent, I'd like to look at the sign again. And this is something that you're going to write in your post-it. Does the sign do a good job of letting a new user know what the service is about? And then why or why not? So does the sign do a good job of letting a new user know what the service is about? And why or why not? And we're talking specifically about the tech card that you have on the table and this big card that's right there.
So does the sign,
Well, now that you know what the service is, does the sign do a good job of letting a new user know what the service is about? Why or why not? All right, so we'll start with Yolanda and work our way around to Kofi.
I thought the sign is straight to the point.
Mhm.
They have questions face to face, so it takes time to read it.
Okay.
I know with a lot of people don't, they just look and then it's okay. But it's self-esteem.
Okay.
I put yes, because it's pretty straightforward.
I put yes because I'm technically a new user sitting down looking at it for the first time, and I understood whether I scan that or text it, I'm going to go and chat with someone face to face. You see it in the picture. We ran into some hiccups, but if we were all using our personal phone, what we were comfortable with, would be it's straightforward like they said.
Okay. Michael?
The sign contains no immediately available relevant information.
And what do you mean by that?
I mean, I look at that sign, and if it weren't for that small word wireless, I would think Straight Talk could be family planning, could be, confronting someone with drug use, We have a face-to-face here. You talk to an attendant here if you have any questions on getting off of your painkillers. Except for the word wireless, and I'm a straight talking customer.
Right.
It doesn't tell me that it provides a full array of wireless services for a discounted price, which is exactly why I'm with the company. Because it gives me everything that Verizon or AT&T would do, but I'm paying $45 a month instead of $145 a month.
Okay. Okay. You said yeah, Michaela, to what?
Yeah, I agree with the
Okay.
whole straight, like, you know, 1 cent rate type of thing every month as opposed to paying 100 something a month
Mhm.
for the same thing. Like, pretty much does the same thing any other phone company would.
Okay. Eddie?
I think that the purpose is really surrounded around like help and specifically to asking questions. Like if you're in a straight talk section, you're going to know that you're already in a mobile service area. So as far as like what it does, it's very clear. If you have questions, you can chat with us now. I would think that the only thing that would be, like at first I didn't see the chat with us now face-to-face option, so I was surprised by the direct FaceTime, video chat. But looking back at it, I mean, it's right there, so you kind of know what you're doing. So very quick.
Okay.
Okay, to say it straightforward, I mean, just looking at the picture almost tells you what you're going to be, what type of, what's going to be happening here. So it seems pretty straightforward to me, just looking at the picture alone.
Okay. And with that, we're done. So the last posting, if you could please give to Denise.
It's a good one. That's the one I really got.
You can leave the devices. We have to reset the room anyways.
Keep the phone.
And everyone, we will check out with the receptionist in the front, and then you are free to enjoy your weekends.
Thank you so much.
Why, thank you.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you guys.
Thank you guys very much. Really appreciate the time.
You were great, Miguel.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Bye. Very nice meeting you. Take care. Bye. Take care. Hey, very nice meeting you.
And you as well.
Thanks.
Man, I'm white, that's straight.